Welcome to BlackUSA.news morning show. I'm your host, William Honolulu Jr. Join us as we explore the news and opinions that impact our community. We break down how the major stories have a very personal, local, and racial impact. No topic is off limits, but even if the conversation gets rough, we're always going to keep it real. Greetings and salutations, all my people out there in internet land. I am William Honolulu Jr., and I have the honor and privilege of serving as the host of the BlackUSA.news morning show. Woo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you actually have no idea what you all are in store for today. I say that often, and I'm always right, though. That's the thing you got to realize. I am always right. I know some dope people. I tell you this all the time. And some of my friends, we are special. We have very special views on life. And I have one of the ones that her views are some of the most specialist. And we're going to have a great conversation with Chenire Carter today about her book, You Can Have Both, The Guilt-Proof Guide to Managing Your Relationships Like You Do Your Business. That's crazy. That's crazy. Managing relationships like business. You mean in a way that minimizes the emotional impact and gets you focused on the goals of the relationship so that you can move forward together? Huh. That's weird. And we're gonna have some fun today. All right, hey Mike, how's it going? All right, happy Wednesday, February 16th, 2022. This is the 16th day of Black History Month. And it is also Do a Grouch a Favor Day. And I was thinking about that. I was like, because it's also almond day. And I was like, which one? I love almonds, but that's more about me. But then I thought about some of the things we talk about here about mental health. And I was like, hey, let's highlight Do a Grouch a Favor, because you don't know why they're grouch. I mean, if you do, and they're just pieces of trash, then that's not necessarily them. But some of us come off as grouches because we got a lot of other things going on. Some of us are confused about what we should be doing in life, or hell, what we are doing in life. So we may not respond appropriately or in a way that is socially acceptable. But maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for us to do somebody a favor and try to build that bridge, especially back in the Black community. Hey, Michael, we got all the Michaels checking in today. Oh, hey, yeah, he's going. Mike, you have no idea. You have no idea what we about to be in for. So funny. I was telling somebody that one of our common friends, big shout out to Kiki Thunder, was telling her that Chenire was going to be on the show today. She was like, "Uh-oh." She's like, "Uh-oh," and I was like, "What?" She's like, "Uh-oh." And I was like, "Okay," but I did have to go like, "You got a good point. You got a good point. This is going to be," but we talked about this before, and apparently we're going to try to be professional or something. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be interesting. I can't say awesome, but it's going to at least be interesting. You won't be bored. We gotta say thank you to the sponsors, because without them, it'd be difficult for me to come and talk to you. First and foremost, I love talking about edible arrangements, and you know what I like doing, especially the ones in Govins and Randallstown and their location in Pittsburgh. But this is what I got to show you. Look at what I had gotten. Look at what I had got, and look at what I had got, and I got me a bouquet of edible arrangements, and there was not one, not two, but three white chocolate pineapple covered doves. Who was happy? This guy, and a DoorDash, like directly to my house, like bing, boom, and it was there. It was crazy. So if you want to celebrate something, please make sure that you stop by Edible Arrangements or give them a call in their Govins and Randalltown location, and they will ensure that you have a really great experience. Murphy, Falcone, and Murphy. Judge Murphy has been protecting and working to empower the Black community since my entire adult life. So if you find yourself in a situation where you have challenges with law enforcement, I'm sorry, not law enforcement. If you have challenges, say civil cases, or if you're trying to get the government to make some changes in your community, make sure you give Murphy, Falcone, and Murphy a call. Worst case scenario, that they're not able to help you directly and can refer you to somebody who can. best case scenario, they can help you and change the trajectory of your entire situation. If you find yourself in the situation where you're dealing with law enforcement, you need to call the warrior lawyer, J. Wendell Gordon. They don't just call him the warrior lawyer because it rhymes. They call him the warrior lawyer because he fights for his clients and he wins. That's a big deal because you can have somebody who fights, but if they always getting beat up, that's probably not the best first person to invest your freedom, the hopes for your freedom in. I suggest you Google J. Wendell Gordon and you will see review after review, case after case, image after image of individuals who have been able to combat in many cases unfair law enforcement practices. So make sure you holler at J. Wendell Gordon to make address your law enforcement issue. We love working with career communications and STEMCityUSA.com. BlackUSA.news is the first Black media company to be streamed in the metaverse. Oh, you know what? I keep saying I'm going to get one of those reverb auto-tune things, but I keep forgetting to do it. And then when I get here, I go, and it's like, that sounds kind of whack. And they deserve better than my whack sound effects or whatever, because being in the metaverse is really cool. I don't have my own personal pair of Oculus just yet. Cause I gotta, my budget is focused. Got investments and stuff I'm trying to work on. So Oculus is a luxury, but I'm trying to make it a business expense, baby. Because we want to make sure that we are with STEM City USA on the cutting edge, because, if we don't stay at the forefront of technology, the way American society is set up, they will leave us behind. So we want to thank SimCity USA, especially all the work they do with the Black Engineer of the Year awards. Oh, speaking of which, I'm gonna get more detail before I just let you all know who's going to be a panelist at one of the Black Engineer of the Year awards. Oh, that's kind of like a spoiler. My bad. I should have said spoiler alert for that one, but okay, there's more detail. I'm gonna tell you later. Not now. All right. One of our newest sponsors, I Am Black Wall Street, a book by Donnie Glover, the founder of the DM Global Marketing and the founder of BlackUSA.news, Be More News. He has been doing the damn thing for a while, at least 20 years. And what this book is a different take on the Black Wall Street, what we know about Black Wall Street. A lot of it talks about what a lot of current publications talk about what Black Wall Street was at the time that it was destroyed or the time of the attack, or there are even books that talk about what happened afterwards, the rebuilding efforts and what happened to the community, how it got from Black Wall Street to what Tulsa, Oklahoma is today. And those are really great and some really great scholarship in those spaces. Donnie took a different take on it. Donnie was like, hey, there's no port city near Tulsa, Oklahoma. This wasn't where people got landed or were landed and brought to America. Tulsa, Oklahoma ain't nowhere near some of these slave encampments where blacks would have naturally gone. So he went back and tried to figure out how they got to Tulsa, Oklahoma. What were the investments like in that time frame, how they built Black Wall Street? And I got to be honest, it serves as a pretty good guide of some strategies that we can take now that we can rebuild or to create a Black Wall Street. And especially we got the cyberspace with places like STEM City USA on our side. We might even be able to break. Oh, dude, I just had an idea. Oh, my God. A metaverse Black Wall. I got to make sure I trademark it before I tell you all too much more. Okay, wait. Oh, but where I'm going to go to get some assistance about trying to figure out trademarks and what I need to do in my intellectual property protection. I'm going to, well, in this case, I'd be going to talk to myself at the Grinding Gang, but it wouldn't be me. I have some incredible team members, some amazing consultants who will help you take your business to the next level. We have free memberships, free monthly events. And one of the reasons that we do this is because for our communities, there's a lot of information out there, but people don't tell you what to do with it. You get out there and it's like, oh, I just read this article, but wait, I just read this other article by equally reputable source that said the exact opposite. And then I saw somebody doing something that was different than both of those and is making money doing it. What do I do? And so a lot of times we find ourselves kind of running back and forth to this option or that option, just testing a lot of stuff and never really getting any traction. We can help you with that. We can help you to figure out what to do with the universe of information so that your activities align with your goals and you can make the money that you're looking for. So make sure you hit us up, grindinggang.com, take a look around and see if there's anything that you like. And if you are hungry, because I am hungry right now, I always tell you I'm gonna one day remember to eat breakfast. I think, what was it, last week? I had what, 2 days I ate before the show. Yeah, this wasn't one of them today. And so I'm sitting here talking about darker than blue, and I'm like, oh my goodness, do they do this? You know what? I think they do. I think they do. I may, because I love the salmon, and you all put me on to that cowboy prime rib. So, hey, you know what? If you all could think of something else, hit me up and in the comments and let me know what's the next thing to try. Because you all were absolutely right. I got to give it to you on that cowboy prime rib. So, let me know what else I can get up in there. What you all recommend? Because I do it for the people. Yeah, that's it. I do it for the people. I do it for the people. I go there and I eat these food things for you guys. I'm so wonderful. As you all know, we have the Perfect Pitch Planning Program, and let me tell you more about it.
Hi, my name is William Honolulu Jr., and I have the privilege of being the host of the BlackUSA.news morning show. BlackUSA.news has partnered with the DM Firm, The Grinding Gang, Be More News, and DM Global Marketing and PR Firm to bring you the Perfect Pitch Planning Program. The program will help business owners develop the skills to compete and present a detailed plan to open or grow a business. During the program, you will learn how to create an entrepreneurial mindset, how to clarify and communicate who your target customer is, how to design your business model to meet your customer's need, and how to create realistic financial projections. The first session will be held on February 19th from 12 noon to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you register by February 10th, you will receive an additional $50 discount. If you use the promo code BlackUSA.news, you will receive an extra 10% off. If you are ready to take your business to the next level and save some money, act now before prices rise. This program is sponsored by the book I Am Black Wall Street by Donnie Glover, with a foreword by the Honorable William Billy Murphy Jr.
There you go. Make sure that you all sign up for the Perfect Pitch Planning Program. Hey, Shonda. Good morning, Shonda. Let's see. Oh, special show, Donnie Glover show today, right after we get off. So at 11 o'clock, you all can tune in to Donnie Glover. He's going to have Romeo Joyner L on today, talking about life in Baltimore. Yesterday, we talked about Black love and finance with Lindsay Peel, and it was an amazing conversation. And if you didn't check that out, you really need to get back on it and go back and check that one out. It was amazing. Really talked about anchoring, like, how do you even have those conversations about finance with somebody that you love or somebody you're just getting to know? Like, when do I actually tell you about my credit score, or when do I actually show you about my net worth? Does it matter if I'm working on things or if I'm already where I want to be? Like, it got good. It got real good. So make sure that you all go back out there, go back and check that out. Tomorrow we will have Quinn Conyers. That's going to be awesome. Quinn is always fun. And so we get to talk to her and figure out what is she up to, because that's always the question with Quinn. It's always something, somewhere, somehow. So we're going to have a conversation with her, and so we can keep track of what she's doing. It's like, where on earth is Carmen Sandiego type stuff going on. Big shout out to Kelly Pressberry, the heartbeat of the Black Fathers Foundation. I'm glad we're here and it's really appropriate to give her a shout out today, because we're talking about having it both, the relationship and the business, and really engaging, and watching her and Matt have built the Black Fathers Foundation up together from jump. And it's been just really amazing to watch. If I don't really do the whole relationship goals, but if I did, they might have to be it. And also a big shout out to Chanel and Chanel Shakur, another really great couple who managed business and life. And before I'm not going to give away their ages, because I realize that is not necessarily appropriate in my line of work or something. But before they got to what we would consider mid-age, they were able to retire and move to Florida, literally, from Baltimore. And he owned a barbershop. She was a real estate agent, and they still have their investments. And again, that supporting each other, that family structure that really helped them take their business and their lives to the next level. And a lot of that is about who you choose, how you choose. and what you do once you choose. Now, today we're not going to talk about who you choose. Well, you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to tell you what we're not going to talk about today because I know who I'm bringing on and I can't tell you what we won't talk about because it get weird sometimes. It get weird. But I'm going to introduce you all to it. And the funny part is, I'm going to tell you this. This is because I realized I was about to click the button and bring her on, and I realized who you all would see. The woman I described just now does not look like who you all see, but don't get fooled. Don't get fooled. And she's gonna be all, oh, hi, hello, how you? Don't do it. Okay. Hey, how you doing? Chenire. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Lovely.
Lovely.
I mean, that's all I got. I want it to be like fucking fantastic or something like that, but lovely.
Okay. Lovely. It's a wonderful 16th day of Black History Month, ma'am. So, I've gotten some feedback on the format of the show, and some of the feedback was that especially for guests that I know, I forget that everybody else out there does not know you guys. So I'm going to take a step back and you introduce yourself.
Hey, everybody. I am the memory maker, and everybody else will give me that name, and I have taken it on graciously. But some of the things I really want you to know about myself is that I am a serial entrepreneur, multi-passionate creative, and author of the book You Can Have Both, The Guilt-Proof Guide to Managing Your Business Like You Do Manage Your Relationship Like You Do Your Business. I'm also one of those people who are uniquely qualified to speak on the subject, not only of how the brain works and making memories within your everyday life so that you know how that you engage with the world, but I'm talking about relationships and businesses. And the reason why I am uniquely qualified is that after about a 20-year marriage and divorce and about a decade of dating in these streets, I know what it would take to not only be an entrepreneur or be in the C-suite and be in a relationship at the same damn time. Because when you realize that sometimes your business is your bae and your partner doesn't even know that you're cheating on them. And so we want to make
Did you see the show yesterday? Because that came up yesterday. It sounds like you saw the show yesterday. I appreciate that. Go ahead. I apologize.
I did a little research. I like being in a Lindsay Quinn sandwich.
Okay, that's a different conversation, not for this show. Okay, that's different. Different.
No. Okay. But we all are in tandem in reference of we had dreams, goals, ambitions before we met our partner. Mm-hmm. We were a whole human being. Some of us were a whole human being before we got into the relationship. And those dreams shouldn't die because we also asked for a relationship or a family or kids and that sort of thing. So how do you marry the two when you decide to have both? And that is my area of expertise, is what I love talking about the most, of how you can do those transferable skills of the things that you do each and every day, because we all love money. We work for someone or we work for ourselves in order to get us the life and the lifestyle that we want. And then how do we transfer those skills that we use all the time into a relationship to be successful?
So let's talk about this, because you're saying this whole business piece, like you work it like a business. But I got to be honest, the stuff that I have grown up on about what relationships should be, what you saying sounds cold and manipulative and that kind of thing. It's like, let's try to create this business and, make sure things are balanced. And that, because I'm sorry, it reminds me of something that got said on Monday's show. What? Shannon the I Can lady, you ain't slick. Shannon the I Can lady said that in marriages you should have a performance evaluation. So it sounds like all of you all are on the same page, huh?
What's interesting is that romantic. Romance is just one of the elements. So if you only want a 100% romantic relationship, it's going to be short. You definitely can have it. I'm not knocking 100% romance and romance only. It's just going to be a short relationship. What I'm saying is that anytime marriages, especially, are legal, binding, contractual scenarios, and yet we don't run it like that. Right. So my thing is that I am in love with my business, and I don't feel like it's cold and it's cold. I love what I do. It brings me a lot of joy, and so it's not just all of the adjectives of like it's hard work and I just hate this. No, I mean, no, it's not that, but it is the fact that everything can't be prioritized at the same time, and you'd be surprised that things that you want to romanticize oftentimes get put on the back burner because there is no level of structure to it. And I have also been in businesses that did not work. I'm gonna just be real and honest. It was because I did not put the time and energy into it. I loved it, and I came out there on a love note, you know what I mean? Oh, wouldn't this be a good idea? Oh, if I dress up nicely, won't people listen to me? Won't people buy into and invest in me? I had this idea in my brain. Why am I not getting my ROI on this?
ROI.
So in my business, your ROI is your return on your investment. You put an X amount, you're hoping to get things back. In a relationship, your ROI is your return on your intention. So you intend to do X, Y, and Z, and you're like, I took you on a date, or remember I gave you those edible arrangements, and you're trying to figure out why I'm not getting a return on that. Shout out to edible arrangements. I'm gonna get one DoorDash today. But I mean, it's one of those things where if you're not using that side of your brain for your relationship, of which you're doing all the time anyway, it's not going to work. I take you, for example, when you're like, I got these resources for your business so that you can take it to the next level. And like you said, you can Google, if someone's like, startup business, 5 top things you can do for your startup. Middle level business, 10 things you can do to be successful.
Right. So many lists of if you just do this, it's going to work.
And sometimes we romanticize our relationships of like, my God, I picked you out. I said you look cute. Why is this not working? Why is there? And then basically,
why is it not what?
Why is it not working?
That's it, and I think that's the biggest part right there. It is work. Yes. And I'll speak for myself. I did not grow up learning how to work through relationship. It was very romanticized that when you're with the right person, it works. When you have found your soulmate, and it gave me the opportunity to say anybody that didn't fit, that it didn't just work. I didn't realize I had to do more investing, because I just thought that if I was working to this image, then everything would be cool. I also, to your point about the business piece, you take that part of it, not really understanding what kind of that emotional, what relationships and working through looks like. And then you mix it with this idea of your business and you find this passion. And in some cases, it's a passion that your relationship can't give you. Because of some of those regular parts of it, the day-to-day and those types of things. And so how do you even become aware? Because I've been in situations where people are like, oh, I am capable of doing this because my life works a certain way and I know it. And it's like, okay, well, let's do that. And then they realize like, no, this doesn't work. So sometimes we don't even, not necessarily honest, but we don't know ourselves. So how are we even going to be able to communicate with somebody else? So it's just a lot. I was like, hey, you solve the problem, Chenire. Again, now, solve it.
Now, do it. I mean, and here's the thing. Don't try to give me no performance anxiety. But what's interesting to me is, and studies suggest, those are my favorite words, studies suggest, that when you go into a business, I mean, the percentage of businesses that actually are successful are low.
Way low.
In the first 2 to 5 years of the business, everybody's banking on you failing, actually. But then we hear about statistics of 48% of marriages end or fail. And we're like, oh, if it's like a 50-50 chance that this is going to work or not work, why should I do this? Why am I putting this effort into it? And really, 85% of businesses fail. And yet, every day we be grinding for it. We are
a lot of us, yeah.
and we're wanting. So it's one of those things where you can actually have a successful relationship if you put that same level of passion. Because if we were in business and let's say someone didn't like our post, we don't just shut the whole shut it down. I can't do this, no more.
Well, let's be clear. Let's be clear. You are. I think at this point we need to make a distinction between all entrepreneurs aren't cut the same way, and all entrepreneurs aren't in the same space in their growth curve. Because I do know some entrepreneurs who are like, "Oh my God, I thought this was going to work. It didn't work. So you know what? I'll never be able to do business." And that's what they think for a while, and then they transition later. So I just want to make sure because I know
No,
I know some people,
I definitely agree, but
yeah,
I have a saying of how you do anything is how you do everything, and that's probably how they also handle their relationships as well. Like,
yes, yeah,
you
okay, some
you
of them.
canceled on a date on Thursday, you're not really into me. So I think it's about a mindset of wherever you are on your journey. Just know that same level of energy that you're putting into one thing, you're probably putting the same levels of energy into the other things that you're doing as well. And if you are not, you need to realize how to transfer those energies. So for the passionate entrepreneur, let's be clear, so because we want a passionate relationship, because there's many people stay in relationships unhappy. I mean, let's be clear. So there's different. I mean, you can throw any adjective on a relationship, and I'm trying to talk about a successful one, the same way that you measure your success for your business. And when I say success for a business, I'm not saying you have to be a millionaire. I'm not saying you have measured what you want your success to look like. And for some people, the currency of success is, just notoriety, visibility. Some people it's just getting an amazing following. I had 1 follower, now I have 1,000. Success. Another person is thinking, listen, I was making $1, now I'm making $1,000. Success. So you have to decide what success looks like, regardless of what everybody else is doing. But we use relationship goals as a hashtag or a couple to emulate. But the word goals means that there must be a plan of action in order to reach it. So for me, relationship goals are more than a hashtag. They are actually something to strive for. Okay, I have a goal too. And then you have to realize what your relationship currency is. And all relationships are transactional, all of them. And so when you are doing the transaction, you're like, I want love for love, or love for money, or respect for power, or once you start realizing that, and then you can say, okay, in order for me to be successful, I need X amount of love, respect, power, sex, whatever those things are. And then when they line up, say, I'm successful. You know what? Because I was looking forward having X amount of this by this amount of time. And here's what the work I'm going to put into in order to get that. You know what I mean? I've talked to my business partner. I've talked to my relationship, my partner, and I said, hey, I would really love for us to do these things. And we do it in a task-oriented way. I'd like to go on vacation. When is the vacation? It is in October. Okay, how much is the vacation? The vacation costs X amount. We have to put aside X amount. We have to get our flight at this time. We got to get a babysitter for the kids. And it's very task-oriented so that you can go do your vacation. But when it comes to a relationship, I would like for us to feel more connected, be a little bit more curious. I would love for us to have a sense of adventure. How do you get there? You know what I mean?
I think here's the challenge that I have though, and we've talked about this before. The biggest challenge is that a lot of people have no idea what the hell they need to have their emotional needs met. That's why they emulate relationship goals. And I was telling, and you saw, I was telling them about the red flannel pajamas, which is apparently going to be the new thing, because I was angry at red flannel pajama people because I saw the pictures, and even the pictures that I knew, y'all argued on the way there, and I know y'all marriages is on the brink of whatever, but y'all looked there, it was like, what I saw in that picture, what the photographer gave me, created a sensation of feeling in me. And it wasn't that I wanted that relationship, is that I wanted that feeling. And I think that illustrates one of the challenges we have in this idea, is that I want the feeling, but you are talking about very practical applications about what activities do we engage to make it more fair for the partners. But how do we start first anchoring into like, well, what does make me, what hell, my return on intent, what would that look like? because you're right about the metrics, but I want to feel happy. I want to feel loved. I want to know. I love this. I want to feel that you want me. Well, I said I want you. Now I want to feel it. So, and then when because you won't help. You came on. You came on the show, so we gonna work through your book together. Okay, we're gonna work through it together. So you come on. I mean, and you say, I want to feel this way. I want to feel, and I'm like, okay, so what do you want me to do? Well, I don't want you to like act it out or script it, because then it doesn't feel, and it's like, oh, whoa. So how do we start with that? How do we start with connecting what I want to feel with some real life stuff?
Yeah. So, I mean, I completely agree. Sometimes you're saying to yourself, wait, I'm not sure. I mean, if I have this planned out, how am I actually going to get the emotional connection that's from a heart space? And I say the same thing when it comes down to business, right? Until you experience a certain level of success, it's fantasy. You know what I mean? Like, I might project, oh, I want to make $1 million. I really want to make $1 million. I have no idea what making $1 million feel like on a true, honest set. But I do know that that's something that I would love to experience. And I'm imagining that when I get there, it's going to, give me all this joy. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I am working toward that goal. I am working toward that particular plan. Right?
Absolutely.
So one of the things is that I have a whole program called Couple Care. Right. And it's the other side of the self-care coin. Right. Mm-hmm. So you can't just be putting all your energy and time into your coupledom without actually putting your energy and time into yourself, because you're bringing one part of this couple is you. So I do a lot of self-care, wholehearted work as well with myself, with my partners and the like, because the less whole you are, and you're asking for someone else to help you to feel the way you want that other person to allow you to feel happy, fulfilled, whole, desired, wanted, all of the things, but you're unable to create those feelings for yourself. That person could be giving it all they got, and you don't know even how to A1 support them in those needs that you want from them, because you've never done it for yourself. And then B2, because you have not actually experienced that level, it's very hard for you to see that when it is happening, to know that it's happening. So consistency is one of the things, one of my C's in our C-suite, that is super important. The more you do something, the more you'll be good at doing that. The more you experience the feeling, you'll be able to do it. So in relationships, you've obviously gotten to this relationship. There must have been that feeling at some point in time. If from the beginning, there was never the feeling of I felt wanted and desired, then that's a different conversation. You might want to take this up. But if there was a time where when we got together and we were like, we had these warm and fuzzy feelings, so that means you can get back there again. You know what I mean? But
I don't know, because again, let me just, because I want to make sure that we explore this. Yes. And I'm remembering that other people are watching this conversation, so I got to watch my vocabulary and metaphors. So I'm like, okay, wait, which one is appropriate? Which one's appropriate? So let's use a PG 13-ish rated a physical metaphor. So I look at it like this: if you're talking to somebody and you say, I want you to touch me, like I want to feel your love when you touch me. Okay, how do you do that? And so it's like, for me, I know what I feel. So by definition, however I touch you, as I am experiencing love, is a loving touch. But I can't control how your body responds to that touch if you feel that same kind of connection. So it's easy, or that same type of feeling, because two different people can touch you in the same way, and one is like, oh my God, the other one's like, ew, ew, ew.
Get away from me. That's creepy.
But it's but it's the same thing. So I'm, and then the physical people are like, oh yeah, well I can't touch you. You can, but you can't just touch me and make me feel that. But somehow we think my relationship presence, the fact that I've told you that I love you, the fact that I have chosen you, somehow this will make you feel. And so if I am doing all the things that I can think of to make you feel that way, and you are not feeling that way, what the hell you do with that?
Chenire. I'm a huge huge component of choice, right? And
Yeah.
and just because I'm saying that you can have both, you absolutely can, but that is something that you have to want to have. You know what I mean? I do not want anyone to believe that you work as hard and hard and hard on something, and if it doesn't manifest itself, if it doesn't come through, that's the only thing that that you can do. Just like in business, and I'm going to bring this analogy full circle.
Mm-hmm.
I have had, when I say I'm a serial entrepreneur, I've had many businesses. I've
Mm-hmm.
had many lives. I did not get my first job and say, you know what? I know I'm only 22, but this is where I'm going to be
Right.
until I'm 72. You know what I mean? This is what I'm going to do. You are the individual who is choosing to be in the relationship is also transforming. They are Optimus Prime. They are Bumblebee. They are transforming, right? And through that transformation, they may be discovering in a series of self-awareness that the person that they have chosen, the job, the business, is not profitable. It does not do what it needs to do for them. And it's okay. That too is okay. Now, let's say you now are in your journey, have found someone who you feel is compatible. You finally found a business that really works for you. Because again, even this business that I have, it is not my first one. It is not my first time at the rodeo. I've tried many other things, and here I am, right? Now you're in the relationship that you have decided, you chose, you've made a decision that I want to give it my best shot. I want to do the tenets of success. That is number one. But also, two, recognizing that everything's not going to land. So in business, we have a cycle. You know what I mean? We're like, oh, this is my Black Friday sale. Okay. I mean, I'm going to kill it. Or more recently, this is my Valentine's Day promotion. You know what I mean? And I know on everything I love that people are going to be dying over this. I'm going to sell out. It's going to be there. And then you put it out there. You touch the person, and the person is saying, not this time. There's a number of factors why someone may not be attracted to the offer that you have right now. You don't always throw the whole entire business away because of that. What you do is now you have some data because you put yourself out there, because you're not going to get profitable. You're not going to get this ROI without putting yourself out there, right? And you have to say, listen, I thought I was giving it my best shot. I thought what I was coming from a place of genuineness, sincerity, love, care, respect. I was coming from that space. And now you tell me that when I do this touch, it just didn't give you the warm and fuzzies, right? Sometimes you have to put that back on the other people. Maybe they weren't ready. Maybe they already have all the products that they need. Maybe the budget wasn't enough. And then sometimes you put it back on yourself. Well, did I only do the touch one time? Was the touch too soon? Did I already hear before that you started too late in the process? So all of these things allow us to diagnose, look at the metrics like we do in business and say, how can I do this differently? And then I'm going to go a little bit more spiritual with you, just for a brief moment on a higher level, on a brain functionality, right? Sometimes you have to dig deep within yourself and say, what part of me didn't make this genuinely work? Because it's very easy for us to say, well, I came from a heart space on this, but fear, doubt, guilt are all within us as well. So as Matt,
they're in the heart space too.
Our amazing traits are, and we're thinking to ourselves that I'm giving it our all, we can be honest with ourselves as how much of this was impeded or didn't
Did you just say people can be honest with themselves? Did you just say that? You will not come on my show and disrespect me and tell me that these people are honest with themselves. That is disrespectful. No.
I said, if you could be honest with yourself. No. Let me tell you something. Okay. The easiest person to fool and lie to is yourself. I mean, you will have a whole conversation about how it wasn't you, and a whole conversation, and convince others.
Or how a conversation that it was when it was.
And when it was not. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so that's why I'm saying this self-awareness journey to be in a relationship journey. However, you can do them parallel. You can be on parallel tracks. And oftentimes your partner serves as a mirror. You know, they see the things that you can't see. You can't see your natural face without being.
So make sure
they can see right through you as well.
So let's make sure, because we're gonna talk about partners. We don't keep it 100 here, but we keep it 85, because
85,
15% you need to
85.
know about, and 5% I'm trying to forgive myself. So if we're gonna keep it 85, sometimes your partner is the problem. Sometimes you talk about your partner being a good reflective point, but you need to make sure your partner can see, because I've seen people who have been in relationships, continuing with your metaphor. I'm gonna see how far I can rock it out, because I love me a good metaphor. I've seen people who are with people who got like Nick Fury going on and don't have the depth perception. I've seen people who, like, because I look cute, I think, without my glasses, and plus on the screen, the reflection or
The
whatever.
glare, the light.
Yeah. So you couldn't just go with "I look cute." You had to come up with the tech. Okay, no, well, cool. I appreciate you.
Hey, listen. The bottom line is I'm agreeing with you. You offered excuses. I said if you want to believe it, do it.
So if you don't have a partner who can see well, and so if your partner is not self-aware, you all may be deluding each other. Hell, I've been in symbiotic and codependent relationships before and thought that they were genuine love and didn't even realize how toxic they were, because I didn't realize my toxicity in those relationships. And so as you were talking about the self-awareness, one of the first things that, when in my experience and when I've talked to people, the problem with self-awareness in some relationships is when you start really becoming aware of the power dynamic. And so just like in business, there's never going to be an equal relationship between business partners, between customers and the business suppliers. There's always a power dynamic. And one of the things that happens in some relationships is that as life changes, those power dynamics change as well. You and I got together. When we first got together, I had all my credentials and shit. I was go ahead making money. I take you out. You on my arm. We red carpeting with me. And then, COVID hit. And then I lost everything. And now you balling and shot calling. And now it's like, because our power dynamics may have shifted. And what a lot of times people don't realize is that creates a new responsibility on both parties to the relationship.
Absolutely. And see, here's the thing, and I love a good healthy power exchange when it comes to relationship, but on an 85%, because we'll talk that feels like 10%, but on an 85%, when we talk about our partnership, we can talk about it in terms of team. Right. And a lot of times people want to equal, you do this, I do that, you do this, I do that. But on a team, on any team, there are different positions to be played. And I understand sometimes
in different games. Different positions in different games.
And require different muscles to be used, requires different skill sets, requires different levels of training, that requires different coaches. Okay. I mean, So here's the thing. If you are a member of the team called marriage, called coupledom, called partnership, right? And you're a member of this team, first you need to know what your position is. And it's not been unheard of that you can switch a position. It's not been unheard of that you've had to do that, right? But you are now on a team, and you need to know what you bring to the team, because sometimes you got a blind spot on the way that you play. Sometimes you are going to be the MVP, and sometimes you have messed the whole game up. You know what I mean? We looking at you like you.
This was on you, dog.
You the one who missed it. We're still a team, but you're the one who missed it. And because when you're looking at it from a team perspective, it's not about not being equal and we're 50-50. No, we're on a team where you're playing your position and you got to do it well so that we can win. The common goal is we're going to win whatever that goal is, you know what I mean? And whatever we have set out to be the championship could just very well be spending more time. The championship could be going to Paris. The championship could be many different things, but you have to realize that you might have to be trained in a different way than your teammate needs to be trained, because you're playing different positions and the coaches look differently. And so the type of work that one person has to do may come from a whole different direction than the type of work that another person has to do. The key is that are you compatible in such a way that when you guys come together with your unique skill sets of making this relationship work, You know what I mean? Just like in business, like, hey, I may not be a marketing guru, might have to get a consultant to do that part, but I might be the brains and the visionary behind this, and you might be the integrator behind this, it out, setting things for you might be more behind the scenes, might be more upfront. All these things that are happening in the relationship that you have to establish. And I'm saying one of the C's that we talk about naturally is communication, because it get, you know, these hard conversations, we like everything else hard in a relationship except for conversation. And it's just very interesting where it's just like it's only getting to the hard conversation that you're actually going to get to the soft part of
any move. Absolutely. So one of the things I love the sports metaphor about the winning and being on the same team with the same goal. But I think because again, I love a good metaphor. You be lining them up real good for me. But continuing with that metaphor, it is determining what a win is for you and making sure that the whole team is on board with that win. Because some seasons, you know what the competition looks like, and like in Baltimore, if you beat the Steelers, then it's a winning season. Or if you don't beat the Steelers both games, you have to win the Super Bowl. Like if that's the only way you're going to make up for it in Baltimore. And by the way, I wanted to say this, I do appreciate the way that you class up Baltimore, because in one of the things you were saying, you were talking about somebody says this, and you really politely said, on everything I love. I was like, that sounded so professionally Baltimore, but okay. But one of the things when you're in it, so like making sure that you all define what a win is the same way. If the win is making the division playoffs, okay, make sure that both of you are on there, because if we make the division playoffs and I'm popping champagne and we don't make it to the Super Bowl, and you're like, damn, this was a losing season. And I'm like, yo,
we wanted to just get here.
But but that's the issue. I created a relationship goal by myself.
Correct.
And the other part too, you're
in a relationship, not a uniship. And so what happens is that when you want to be together, you have more. I mean, and again, there's other people in your relationship as well. Like I said, you got a coach, you got a therapist, you're working out, you're doing certain things. But in the two of you, you have to get on the same page with your goal. That's why I said relationship goal is more than a hashtag, and you need to revisit that. Because here's the thing. Because you started a goal out, let's say in the beginning of your season, you started the goal out. It's like, listen, Lord, I'm just happy to get on the field. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you never go back to your partner and say, listen, we've been working together really greatly. I really want us to get to the playoffs. Or you never go back to your partner and say, I would really love to increase the goal of maybe making it to the Super Bowl. You never go back. The person is so happy that I just thought we wanted to just get on the field. So I think if you don't have regular check-ins, because what we never account for is for change, for people to grow and evolve. We think that the person we met in the beginning is the same.
Nope. And I can't let you have that one. What I have found isn't that we don't expect them to change. I think that's one side. The other side is people who I know what you're going to become, and I'm going to help you get there. Because I see your potential. I see your infinite potential, and I'm going to help you get your potential. I love you. I'm going to love you with everything I have. And it sounds like a WWE kind of relationship. But Brandy, a couple things. Brandy brought up that oftentimes you get lost in your partner. And I think in the anchor, and I think, and we talked about this before, but the anchor of your work, and you've talked about who your books are best for, are for people who are on their way through their healing journey and want to identify and define themselves, not just in the context of their business or of their relationship, but who they are, and have that decision drive their relationship, have the decision of and figure out how to partner. Because if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what your prices are, if you don't know how much you should charge, then whatever you offer me, I guess that's okay. And we're trying to find our value in reflex to what other people are offering. Because I'm gonna be honest, I can't afford an Aston Martin. I just can't. On my budget, I am very happy with my Kia. But that does not change the value of an Aston Martin.
Correct.
The Aston Martin is still worth what it's worth, notwithstanding what I can afford. And so if you are trying to get your value from your partner, then it doesn't, I don't think, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that the way that you're guiding is going to work for a person that's just trying to find themselves defined by somebody else. This is for somebody like, I am going to decide who I'm going to be. And these are the ways, these are the tools that I can use to help me show up in relationships, not to help the relationships be great, because to your point earlier, business risk, relationship risk. We want guarantees.
People want guarantees.
I can't even guarantee you that I'll be alive tomorrow. So what do you want?
Right. And to your point, and to our guest's point, some people do get lost in their partners, and they just haven't come to their journey as far along in their journey as possible. Because again, life is not about discovering yourself. Like I'm just trying, and so you're finding yourself getting lost until you are grounded into creating who you actually are. It's less likely to get lost. So once you're starting, and I'll use a business analogy again, is that the reason why you can, and we talked about this before, read one article and start going down this path, read another article, they said that you're supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z. Now I'm doing that. I got a new coach. This coach told me that I'm supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z. And then I'm supposed to be, because you haven't really gotten grounded in the work that
it's not yours.
It's not. It's whatever someone tells you. You know what? Hey, listen, you're good at so and so. Okay, well, let me run in that direction. They told me I was super good at it. You have no passion, no research, no that. You don't know. Oh, let's do this. And at a certain point in time, and trust me, I'm raising my hand. I'm dancing on my own toes, because I have definitely been there where someone bigs you up to such a level where it's like, oh, you're the best thing. So you should be doing this. I see so much dream, hope, and potential.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Okay. I'll do those things. Website. Yeah. Oh, okay, great. Because everybody wants to feel good. And we all know that it comes from the heart space, and it hits you right there in the middle, right there in the middle. Right? It hits you in such a way that it moves you. It's a feeling that you love, you enjoy. I love doing it to perfect strangers. Love your shoes, sis. But at the end of the day, whether I like them or not like them, she put them on and she rocked them. Right? She has to know that she likes them, whether anybody else valued them or not. And then this is just an added cherry on top scenario and situation. And that's why I said at the beginning of our interview is that before you got into the relationship, there was promise and potential already laid inside of you to be the thing that you're going to be, whether you've discovered it, whether other people are bringing it out of you or not. Once you get to the point where you're like, I had this dream, goal, and ambition, or I now see the light, whatever that is, that you're saying, this is the course that I want to go, irrespective of being in a relationship or not. This is the course that I want to go. Now I'm going to bring this to the table. And oftentimes if you've chosen wisely. Now, will you change? Will there be higher levels of potential? Will there be lower levels of potential? So let me just tell you, there's days where I'm not functioning at my highest potential. I mean, I'm just not. I actually know.
This ain't the day. We're not gonna try this today.
This is not a potential full day, right? But at the end of the day, I actually know that I need to fill up my cup, and my cup doesn't always have to be filled with my partner. I mean, sometimes I'm like, hey, good sister friend, you know what I mean? I am struggling, you know what I mean? Because sometimes
you're struggling with your partner.
You're struggling with your partner. And here's the thing about hidden bias, unconscious bias. We all have it.
Yep.
And it works for and against us. Our unconscious bias sometimes works for our partner's sake because they can do no wrong. Everything's so great. You know what I mean? Not this person. So you have a bias toward them because that's the love of your life. You know what I mean? And quite frankly, that person is struggling. Quite frankly, that person actually needs you to see the flaws that they actually have and support them through the journey.
Right.
Not fix it for them. Not, lead this horse to water. Support them through this journey, but you can sometimes act as a mirror for them of like, hey, as opposed to just trying to divvy it all up. So great. But your unconscious bias can also say to yourself and others, I really don't have what it takes. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? I really just thought that, by now, I read this article and that by this age, these are the people who's supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z. And, my mama always told me that, you're going to be something great. And I think I'm just good or I'm mediocre. I'm not grand. Whatever those things are will start to eat away at yourself and you bring it into the relationship, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. That's why I'm saying that the self-work has to be done, and it can be done in tandem. You don't have to be like where you're going to be. I was doing another article and it was like, how don't you want to bring your best self to a relationship, right? And
every day I wake up and I have, this is the best self.
My thing is that using the word best self makes it seem like I'm never going to grow. You know what I mean? This is
Right.
all there is. I
Oh,
said, what I like to bring to a relationship is myself, no adjective. And then I'm always curious of when I will be a new version of myself, right? And
right.
sometimes that new version, not so great. You know what I mean? Sometimes
Yeah.
that new version is amazing. I cannot believe that I'm
No,
from Africa, from here.
no, because we only got a little bit of time. So one, I got to make sure you got some time to because the Donnie has his show today after mine. So normally I'm like I could push a
I
couple
can
minutes
push
here and
this. No,
there,
no, no, no.
but today when the boss has his show and it's called the Donnie Glover Show, so I ain't
Yeah,
trying to
name and the
interrupt.
title.
Yeah. That, cause and I got the morning show, so this not even like my show for real. So I got to make sure I get on. But I want to make sure you got an opportunity to tell them how they can give you money and why they should. So I'm gonna step off. What? I mean, normally I give people 60 seconds, but I mean, you fire. So how much time you want? How much time you want?
Um, well, how much time we have? Because I'll take the whole thing. I'm not one of these people who
Oh,
like
damn!
cuts
Like,
off.
okay. How about this? I'll just give you 60 seconds because that made
Okay,
me a
because I
little
mean, listen,
nervous.
I'm not
I
one of
just
these
that,
people who
yeah.
like, you gonna give me the whole thing? I want
That
the
made me
whole
nervous.
thing.
That made me nervous. That made me
Okay,
nervous. It
okay.
seemed like I wasn't gonna have a show after you finished. I didn't like the way that felt. I didn't like that. All right, ready to go. 60 seconds. Tell them how they can give you.
Hey everyone, I'm your resident memory maker, and I really want you to be successful both in business and in your relationship. So, I'm doing something very special for my birthday. Generally speaking, people give me gifts for their birthday, but I want to give you something. On March 1st, that's right, my birthday is March 1st. I am hosting a virtual event called The Business of Bay. Right? This is how you can manage your relationship just like you do your business. All the information is on Eventbrite. I will make sure that I send that information out to you. This workshop, because we're talking about two and it takes two to make a thing go right, it is $22 to join us on this virtual workshop on March 1st. All the information is on Eventbrite, and I'll make sure that it gets out to your viewer audiences. But you can also visit me at couple.care or memorymakerinc.com. We're on all the social media platforms as well. I want to make sure that you know that we also have this amazing book. You can have both. It is on Amazon, one of Amazon's best-selling books, and that's where you start. We'll be teaching and training because I want this to be the best year yet for you, okay? 22 is the year of the double. We're going to double down and get double the abundance so we can have both our relationship and our business, and they both can be thriving. So on March 1st, for my birthday, my gift to you is joining this virtual summit where we're going to run down all of the C's that is needed to not only be in the C-suite, but also to be so sweet in your relationship. I look forward to you joining me, and I'll make sure that you have the link. The event is on Eventbrite for $22 March 1st.
Look at you doing a damn thing. I see you, girl. Go ahead, get it. So that's how you all can get in contact with Chenire. One of the other things that I know wasn't the focus of today, but the memory maker services that she talks about aren't just good for your entrepreneurship or your business development. Now, it is important that you have the experiences that get people to come back, and that's one of the reasons that you create the memories, but also in your personal relationships. Memory, the person that you're with, or you will have a memory one way or the other.
Yes.
How meaningful that memory is, how engaged that memory is, and how accurately that memory lasts really has a lot to do with how deliberately you make it. And the memory maker can help you do that, because sometimes you need somebody who can see your life from the outside, some objectivity to get in. You need some objectivity to spark your creativity. See what I'm saying? I'm a poet and didn't know it. Ooh,
Didn't know it.
my
Didn't
God. Oh, Chenire, I know I gotta get ready to go because my boss is about to get on. So
yes, I thank you so much. So much gratitude. Thank you so much for having me. Would love to come back again and talk about some of
well,
the
yeah, you know that's got. Oh, that's right. We're doing professional. Yes, we're gonna be welcome. I think you better. No, but no, yeah, and we're looking forward to having you back. All right, it's gonna be awesome. I'll talk to you later, love.
Thank you.
All right, bye. Woo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. What did I tell you was gonna happen today? What did I tell you? I told you we were gonna have a good time. We really got to really lean in on this love week about how you engage with your partner using some business principles to make your relationship grow. And well, hell, become stable and grow. And also really anchoring into let's get self-aware first. Let's make sure we know who we are, what we want, so that we can approach somebody and set up goals together. One last thing is we talked a little bit ago. I gotta get ready to go because I ain't trying to get in no trouble. You know what? I'll tell y'all about that tomorrow because again, I'm a little nervous. I like my job. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I will catch you tomorrow when we talk to Quinn Conyers. Yeah, have a good one.